Matt Eford can trace his Central Valley roots back 5 generations.
My great-great-grandparents settled this area in 1880s, 1890s.
The general store they built still stands, and there's even a street bearing the family name. Back in those days, the landscape of this part of Fresno County was very different. It was the Efords who began raising cattle, then planting crops, and before long, they were making a living, farming. Today, Matt and his father carry on the business, growing tree fruit and grapes.
It's a passion, and being a passion, it's something that I love doing, that I couldn't envision doing anything else.
At 37 years old, young by farming standards, Eford represents a small but growing segment of the community. These days, the average age of a grower in California is right around 60, but that's slowly changing as more people like Eford come back to take over the family business, a trend the industry as a whole is pleased to see.
It's an exciting time because when you do have the better economics of agriculture, it provides more opportunities for these children of those that are in agriculture mostly to come back to the farm.
Ryan Jacobson with the Fresno County Farm Bureau calls it a renaissance of sorts. He says in the last 5 years or so, commodity prices have been on the rise, and family farms in general are seeing business trend in a more positive direction, which isn't to say there aren't still plenty of challenges.
It's hard work. It's a lot of risk. It's frustrating at times. Political atmosphere gets difficult for us at times, and obviously the challenges now with water is very difficult.
And despite what some may think, the modern-day farmer isn't spending all his time in the fields.
I'm involved in all aspects of the day-to-day operations. Literally just all facets of an operation. It's not just overalls and a straw hat and driving a tractor.
Not far away, in another part of Fresno County, is 31-year-old Todd Harrisuna. After moving away for college, he eventually found himself back here, carrying on the family farming business.
It's grueling work. There's definitely easier ways to make a living. You know, you've got more regulations. Our expenditures go up exponentially every year.
But for Harrisuna, like so many others, this is more than a job. It's a way of life.
It is a taxing schedule. It can wear you down. It can test your want and your will to continue. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's one of the more honorable and honest ways to make a living in.
While many will say there's no substitute for experience, Harrisuna believes his age can ultimately be an asset.
So being younger, you have that advantage. You have that energy just to keep pushing.
And pushing on is exactly what these young farmers will have to do, adapting to a constantly evolving political, economic, and physical landscape.
The changing dynamics of politics, the shrinking ability to have a reliable water supply to be able to do what we've done so well historically is going to make going into the future much more complex for these next generations coming in.
But what isn't complex is how this generation sees the big picture.
And I'm a steward of this land while I have it, and so I'm farming it for the next generation.